What's up, y'all? Daryl J. Bennett here. I told you I would be back. I would have my circles right. Let me. Somebody even said to me, they said, "Do you know about StreamYard?" I'm like, "Yeah, I hadn't been using it." I told y'all I wanted y'all to see this. I wanted you to see strengths. I wanted you to see skills. I wanted you to see passions. Give me a second. Let me make this larger because I want to make sure that there we go. There we go. Oh, glory be to the Most High. Yes. I want to encourage you today. I really do. Somebody needs to be encouraged. You do. I didn't even plan to get on here right now. I have some fried chicken and potato salad that is calling my name. It's calling my name. But I felt in my spirit, you need to get on here. You need to get on here. And I was like, no, I want to eat the fried chicken and the potato salad. And I got a meeting. And then my meeting got canceled. So now I don't have an excuse. And even though the fried chicken and I said macaroni, you see where my mind is, this on food, and potato salad is calling me. I need to be here. You need a win. I need to talk to you. Listen to me. You need a win. I'm going to speak a win over your life. I'm going to speak that you're going to see your life differently after I go through what I'm going to go through today. I'm going to speak that you're never going to be the same. I'm going to speak that your paradigm is going to shift. I'm not talking about the 10% that's your conscious mind. I'm talking about the 90% that is running your life, the program, the paradigm, the tape that's running in the back of your mind incessantly. I've come to interrupt the pattern, the paradigm, the perspective that has kept you stuck. You need a win. This is what I want to say to somebody. I don't know who this is for. You've lost confidence in yourself because you keep setting goals and you keep not doing what you said you were going to do. And you found yourself in a place where now you have lost your confidence. And it is not because you don't have the talent. It's not because you don't have the charisma. It's not because you don't have the ambition. It's not because you don't have the passion. It's because you haven't had the discipline to do what you said you were going to do. And so I want to talk you out of a place of stagnancy and stuckness and inertia and move into a place of motion. See, Isaac Newton said that a body at rest stays at rest. That's been the problem with you. You've been at rest. You've been waiting on God. You've been using all of the stuff that and I say waiting on God in air quotes. You've been saying all the things that people say when they refuse to do what they're supposed to do. And I want you to take it in love. But you've lost confidence for yourself because you don't honor your own word. Listen to me. People who don't honor their own word, they lose confidence in themselves. I've been there. Stop setting goals that you know you can achieve, and then you're not doing it. And then you're trying to figure out, why don't I feel the way that I should feel? It's because you haven't honored your own word. I don't know who this is for. This is for somebody. I want to encourage you. I want to give you courage for the next step in your life. If you're going to overcome this, you're going to need to start standing by your own word. I really don't know who this is for, but this is for somebody. You need to receive it. You need to receive it in love. Now, what do I mean? Write the vision, make it plain so you can run with it. You haven't run because you haven't made it plain. You haven't written it down. You haven't stood by what you said you were going to do. It is something that happens to a man when he doesn't keep his word. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've been there. I know it. I have a ministry for equipping people. I use that word ministry in the very liberalist, charitable sense of the word. I have a business, a calling, a destiny for equipping people and pushing people and motivating people and inspiring people. It just comes out of my pores. But one of the things I tell folks, when I say men, I'm talking mankind. I'm not just talking about men, men with the capital M, not M with not M with lowercase m. There's something that happens to a person when he doesn't keep his word to himself. You told yourself you were going to start that business. You did. And can I say something to you? When you find a way, you'll get it done. And when you don't find a way, you'll reach for an excuse. Do you notice that people that have an excuse are always reaching for an excuse? There's always an excuse to reach for. There's always some reason why you didn't do what you said you could have done. But I want you to make up in your mind today, I'm going to stand by it. I remember it was a colonel who said to me, do you know why at this academy, this military academy, we make people make their beds first thing in the morning? I said, no, I don't know. He said, because we want people to have the feeling of accomplishment early in the morning. We want people to get up and do something that makes them feel like I'm accomplished from the very beginning of the day. I want you to think about that. It's not about the making of the bed. It wasn't about that. It's not about your task list. It's about what you become when you do something that you said you were going to do. Maybe it's small. Maybe it's so small that all you said is, I'm going to spend 5 minutes in the presence of God. And I'm just going to spend 5 uninterrupted minutes. But will you hold on to that? Will you do it? See, the steps of a good man are ordered, but you can't get to step 2 till you finish step 1. So many people are trying to get to step 2. You got to finish step 1. You know, for those of us that have gone through programs where it talks about the steps, because the step program. Yeah. You got to do your step work. Yeah, you got to do your step work. I'm here to help you do your step. You got to get off of step 1 and go to step 2 and then go to step 3. So this is what I want to help you do today. I want to help you get clear about where you need to go. I want to help you get the confidence to follow through with what you said you were going to do. Stop making these big, overreaching goals that you don't even think you can do. It's hurting your confidence, I'm telling you. For some of you, you need to listen to me. For some of you, your vision board is messing you up. It is. Because you put something on your vision board you don't even think you can get. So every time you look at it, you don't get the feeling of excitement and belief and anticipation. You get the feeling of lack and feeling separated from it. And it's going to create more of you being separated from it. That releases somebody right there. You might need to tear that vision board down. For real. Stop putting things on there that are creating a feeling in you of, how in the world am I going to get it? You need to reach for something that you know you can get. You need a win. I'm telling you, you need a win. That's how I coach people out of their present situation. You need a win. When I work with people, let me tell you something. When the Exodus Transitional Community and the New York Secretary of State, when they allowed me to do a program for people who had been incarcerated for over 15 years, and I was working with them for 2 months to have them within 2 months to be employed or enrolled in a university, there were people that I was working with that had done 20, 30 years. One gentleman had done 43 years straight in prison. He had been in prison for longer than I'd been alive. And I was tasked within a month of his release with helping him to get equipped for the next stage. This is what I do. I know the work of restoring people. You know how I help people do? We start right where you are. Theodore Roosevelt says, start where you are with what you have. Stop trying to start with what you could have. People get me with that. Well, if I had, stop. You don't have it. What can you do right now? You need a win now. You need a win now. I help people get a win on day 1. You need a win to boost your confidence. That maybe all the win is, you know what, for this day, I'm just going to walk around the block and I'm just going to hold my head up and I'm going to talk to 2 people and say something to them. But you need a win. Because if I can get you to win today and realize you're a winner, we can go to the next step tomorrow. All right, let me talk about my circles because this is what I wanted to get y'all to last week, but Facebook was acting up. Facebook was playing games. So I had to do it on a higher platform that allows me to stream to multiple platforms at one time, but you can see my circles. Can you see my circles, y'all? They're probably small. My circles are probably small. Okay, they're small. You'll screenshot it. You'll look at it later. But let me tell you what they are. Let's start with this. Can y'all see my cursor? I don't know if you can. I'm at the green circle. The green circle, I'll tell you what it says. It says strengths. You were born with great gifts and great talents. That's what strengths are. Away with this thinking that you have to be in a gifted and talented program to do something great. You were born rich. I'm telling you where I'm going to prove it to you. You were born wealthy. Maybe short on cash. Maybe short on cash. You were born with everything you're going to need to be great. That's your talents. What are your talents? What do you do easily that comes hard to other people? What comes naturally to you? What's your third hand? What do people continuously compliment you on? What is your spouse like about you? What are the people that you with like about you? Yeah. What fill in the blank for me? When they say your name, they say, you know, you're really good at. What is that? ... What is that? I want you to be a student of yourself. You studied Napoleon. You studied George Washington in school. Study yourself. This is where the educational system has failed people. Because they're teaching people general knowledge that you can get off of the internet. Don't nobody got time for that. That ain't going to save you. You don't need more knowledge. You need more insight. I'm trying to tell you, all of that knowledge you have, where has it gotten you? Because you know everything about out there, but what about in here? You need insight. What's your strengths? What comes so easy to you? And people watch you do it, but it's effortless to you. Y'all, I'm excited. It's effortless to you, but it's hard for other people. That's a sign. That's a superpower. Batman ain't the only one with a superpower. Superman ain't the only one with a superpower. Because the truth of the matter was, it was never Superman. He was Clark Kent the whole time. Oh, somebody got freed right there. Yeah. You are a hero with a superpower. Yeah. What's your superpower? What do you do when you turn it on? Other people have no choice but to crank their neck and go, who's that? What is that? You need to know that about you. You need to know that about you. Have it. I'm here to tell you, you have a great talent. Then this is the second thing. This is this circle. That's the blue circle. Gifts, strengths, skills. What are your skills? This is the problem with the educational system. They're teaching people skills that may not be tethered to strengths. So you learned a lot of stuff that is skills because you learned the skill because you thought it would make you some money. But if it ain't tethered to a strength, I'm here to tell you, you might not be walking in your calling. What's your skills? What have you learned along the way? What have you picked up along the way of life that you've mastered or close to mastery? Master is a strong word because it's hard to master anything that you don't have a strength in. I'm telling you, because you won't spend the time to learn it. You won't devote the energy that you're going to have to do and the focus in order to get there. I'm telling you, this is why you got to start with strengths. Notice I didn't start with passions. I didn't do that. This is where you mess yourself up. I'm working in my passion. Okay, well, how's that happening for you? You better work in a passion that's connected to a strength. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get to the red circle. But I need to order your steps because the steps of a good person are ordered. I'm trying to tell you, they're ordered. They're not just ordered sequentially. It's been ordered already. There's two ways of looking at the word order. Ordered. It's been ordered. That you gotta start with what you're great at. Your gift will make room for you. Your gift, your passion may not never. Your job might not never. Your task might not. Your project, your passion thing your hobby, but your gift will make room. Yes, it has to. It's a universal truth. Everybody that I know that has great impact. Everybody that I know that has great impact. Everybody that I know that has great impact is working in their strength. What's your strengths? What's your talents? I know I keep going back to that circle because I want you to know you got it. You were born rich. You were born rich. You were born rich. I walked my younger brother through this exercise. He got halfway through and he said, I'm looking up. He looked up at me and said, you know what? I realized after I wrote all this stuff, we didn't even get to passions. We were just working on strengths and skills. I had him write down 21 strengths and then 21 skills. By the time we finished with 21 skills, he looked at me and said, I'm looking at all the stuff that I could do. I said, yeah. That's what I wanted you to realize. Well, I wanted you to realize you were born wealthy. You were born abundant. You were born great. You were born powerful. You let people talk you out of that. I'm telling you, you let people talk you into the narrow-minded room that you're in now. You let people talk you into that. I'm going to tell you something. Great folk, we had to let go of the limitations that people tried to place upon us. People always try to place limitations. People will always try to tell you what you can and can't do. I'm going to tell you something respectfully. I don't care what they say. I'm moving my godhood. You heard? In my godhood. I'm a Christ figure. You don't tell me what I can't do. The heck? What's in the drop? The same thing that's in the ocean is the same thing that's in the drop. You heard? I come from God. What does that mean? I am of God. That my godhood is connected to. That's something I do so great that the earth shakes when I move in it. Oh, demons tremble when I'm moving in my godhood. This is what I need you to understand. I'm not talking just about your skills. I'm not talking about what you put in your resume. I'm not talking about your job. I'm talking about the thing that God has put you on earth to do. That's where your Christhood shines through. Yeah. So that's your talents. Then I'm going to tether it to skills. And then this is my third circle because I want you to see the overlap. This is my third circle. Passions. What's my burning desires? What do I love to do? I mean, I just love to do it. I love to do it. You love to do it. You love to do it. Time, stop, stand still. What is that? You need to know that. It may not be a strength. Don't worry about that yet, but just put it in that circle. Yeah, what would you do if you had all the money in the world? Money was just no issue, and you did all the traveling. People get into that. I buy stuff, I travel. After a while, when all that's said and done, how are you helping people? Because we're all called to help people, but help people how? That's the passion. It's something that you are obsessed with and you were obsessed with as a kid that you let go. I'm telling you, that's a sign of your passion. You can see 3- and 4-year-olds working in passion. I'm telling you can, because that was before the world told them what they couldn't do. He just did. Some people just gravitate toward Legos. You need to look at that. You need to look at that. You need to see that. You need to go back to where you were before people told you what you couldn't be. Passions, burning desires, what fills you so fully that the world stops for you when you do it. Now, when you know, this is the 3 circles, that's why I wanted you to see it. When you know those gifts and talents, because my gifts and talents going to make room for me. My gift always going to make room for me. My gift always, I'm telling you, my gift, you might be listening to me saying, but Daryl hasn't made room for me. It may not be your gift. It may be a skill you're trying to pass off as a gift. It might be a passion you're not gifted in. I've seen a lot of people work in passion and they're not gifted in that. They're not gifted in that. Let's call the thing a thing. Let's call the space. You like to sing, but you're not gifted for that. You got to know it. You got to know it. Be honest with yourself. See, this is part of the problem. You've got so many people trying to get into a narrow door, and they weren't even supposed to be in that door. So it looks like when you hear people say, "Not everybody can be rich," that's a poverty mentality. You were born rich. You were born. How could you got to define what rich is? How can you be a God body of God and not see yourself as being rich? Unless you're trying to tell me that a paper dollar is more valuable than the essence of who you are. And if you think that, we need to have a really long conversation. If what is in your bank account is determining your worth for who you think you are, we need to have a very serious conversation. I mean, we've got to have and we need to have it like yesterday. So the problem when people say that is, a lot of times is because this is the thing. Not everybody can manifest wealth doing the same things. And that's what typically tends to happen. You got a bunch of people that want to be in sports, a bunch of people that want to do music, but you're not gifted for that. I know a lot of people, I see them release music and I'm sitting there thinking, bruh, for real, you need to go back to school because that ain't it. You probably were supposed to be a scientist, but that wasn't the cool route for you. You may have needed to be a computer programmer, but that ain't it. Because some people, they can just get on the track and it flows. See, when I'm speaking, I'm telling you, and I do okay with this. When I'm speaking live, especially if I'm on television, it's like when that red light comes on, I hear, it's like a earpiece is in my ear. I'm telling you, it's like I hear what to say. You know, Ray Charles, he said when he heard a sound, he saw a color. See that you can't talk like I talk. This is what I do. But see, I'm working in my gift. You should see me dance. It ain't a pretty sight. I like to dance though. Trust me. I like to dance. I like to sing, but I understand I'm not gifted like that. You know what? Maybe I am, and I just haven't recognized it. Let me say that. Let me raise my consciousness a bit. Maybe I am, and I just haven't recognized that. But let me say this, because I have not yet recognized it, and it hasn't unveiled, and I haven't seen it as a gifting, I haven't walked in it, I have learned you got to walk in what you're gifted in. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to bring it all together. I want you to live at the intersection. That's what I want you to do. I want you to live at the intersection. I want you to live at the intersection. I want you to live at the overlap of where your strengths, your skills, and your passions overlap. That's where I want you to live. See, this has been the problem. You've been only in passion. And that's why you've been struggling financially. See, you're welcome. Respectfully, you're welcome. You're welcome. Because you've been trying to figure it out. And you've been mad at people. You've been mad at God. You've been frustrated. You've been cussing your cat out. No, don't do all that. You're too focused on your passion, and you haven't gotten back to strengths. You haven't gotten back to the fact that your gift will make room for you. Right? It's not just about what you love to do in the world. It ain't just about you. See, purpose is the connection between your strengths, skills, and passions and how it helps the world. Passion just keeps you on yourself. This is where you hear people. And a lot of times you hear people struggling financially. This is where the stuff you hear. They always talk about themselves, their passions, their hobbies, their skills, their bills, their problems, their. I'm telling you, I see it all the time. Those are the people that just need enough money to cover their bills. Such a poverty mindset. Ugh, you don't even think to have enough to bless other people. How small-minded can you be? No, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend you, but I want to give it to you the way I hear it. I don't want a lot of money. First of all, a lot is relative. Because for somebody, now I'm talking money rich. For somebody, you're seriously money rich because $100 somewhere else could go seriously far. You blew that on what? Your nails, your hair, and you're going to have to get that done next week anyway. And that ain't even your hair. But when I hear people say, I don't want a lot of money. Well, you know what I hear? Translation? I'm so concerned about me. All I need is me. What if God needs you? Hold on. What if God needs you to have a lot so you can bless a lot? What if it wasn't for you anyway? What if the calling was for you to manifest $1 billion and give away $1 billion? It wasn't even about you having it anyway. Have you thought of that? Or is it, but see, this is poverty thinking. It's only about them. So they sound like they're more righteous and holy and better people. I don't want a lot of money, but I work for money all the time, pretty much. Because those are people that are working for money instead of letting money work for them. Huh? Because see, when you move in your gifting, things start changing different. See, David said, I got to bring it biblical for somebody because that's the only way you're going to hear it. David said, goodness and mercy chase after me. That's the transliteration of it. It chases at. I don't have to go. It's running after me. You heard what I'm saying? Have you ever had somebody run after you? No. Talk to me. Listen to me, not them. Listen to me. Have you ever had somebody chase after you, pursuing you? Don't you want goodness to chase after you? You want goodness to chase after you? Start moving in your calling. That's the intersection with strength, skills, and passion. That I'm telling you, opportunities come to you that way. First government grant I ever got, they chased me down to do it. We see the mentorship stuff you're doing. Can you do this for our group? I was like, I don't. First thing, I tried to get out of it. I did. They'll tell you the story. I did. I said, I can't. No. They said, we need a proposal by the end of the day. Or 2 days from now. I said, first of all, I'm thinking, I ain't got time to put together no proposal. Y'all called me. This is one thing in the back of my mind. Still small-minded thinking, right, at the time. I should have just jumped on it. And I said, no. And they said, well, how many people would I be mentoring? Well, it's 20 people. I said, well, and this is what they said. We got 20 mentees, 20 mentors. I said, well, I don't have 20 mentors, so I can't do it. No, we got the mentors. We got the mentees. We just want you to run the program. So then the second excuse I came up with, is like Moses, always coming up with these excuses. I said, well, you want me to put together a proposal? I never even put together a proposal. She said, all I need you to do is write on a sheet of paper what you would do. And we've already seen you do it. So we know what you're going to do, put what you're going to do and put a price on it. I thought about it. I was like, well, you made it that easy. So I'm trying to tell you, when you start moving and calling in your godhood, people start chasing after me. If I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. Stop trying to chase people and let people be drawn unto you with your light, with your power, with your confidence, with your certainty, with your calling, with your destiny. That's what I want you to do. I want you to stop chasing money. It's a small way to live. You'll never hear me say that. Somebody say, I'm on the paper chase. I'm like, ooh, how's that working for you? Because see, what I'm doing is I'm pursuing calling. I'm pursuing the face of God. I'm pursuing the purpose of God. And I know that all these things are going to be added. The ravens ain't paper chasing. The lilies ain't paper chasing. The birds ain't paper chasing. And I want to put a plug in here for somebody. You need to research the ravens. I'm not going to give it to you. I did a whole study on the ravens. It's something specific that separates them from every other bird. And it's a reason why the master said, the ravens, look at them. It's something they do that no other bird does. I ain't going to give it to you on here. You need to study that. Because you need to start moving in your Godhood. That's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about the fact that you're of God. You're of God. Somebody got mad at me and said, where are you from? God. He said, no. I mean, where are you from? God. Well, what city were you born in? Baltimore. That's where I was. That's the city that I came through the earth plane in Baltimore. But I'm not from this earth. You do know that, right? This is not my native land. I'm a pilgrim and a stranger here. Don't you understand that? Don't you understand that? I come from a place whose maker is God. Don't you get that? I'm of God. It would really trip you out if you say, who are you? And I say, God. You would shut off my life because you say that's blasphemy. But you call people the demons and the devil all the time. Some of y'all need to check that. You're so quick to tell people they're a demon or a devil, but when you hear somebody say, that's God, they're of God, that's a deity. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. But see, this is the other thing that I've learned. When you start moving in your Godhood, I know I'm using a deeper word here because I'm trying to give it to you a different way. When you start moving in your Godhood, I'm talking about the place where you're so uniquely fit. You're not competing. You're not competing. So when you find yourself competing, you're either you're doing something wrong, somebody's in the wrong lane because there's no competition with the divine. Because you see what I mean? Because there's something that you have that nobody else has. You were placed for a specific purpose. That's why your fingerprint is different, even if you're a twin. It's something different, unique, and special about you. There's a purpose that was set apart for you. The stars were aligned differently in your place than any other time, in any other place, for any other person that was born. It wasn't just the master that the stars foretold of his coming. I know I'm saying a lot here. It's not like stars were created and then left and then only were here when the master was here. Y'all need to see, for some of you, this. I know I started with this and now I'm in Godhood and I got to get off because I don't want to give all this right here. But for some of you, you have abrogated all, it's a legal word. Look, you have abrogated all your power to Jesus. I'm going to just say it like that. I gotta put it where the goat can get it. Rather than recognizing that he came to show you that you might have life. Oh, and life more abundantly. I know you have in church. I know you singing the songs. I know you're glory, glory. But when will you stop and realize that there's a glory in you too? Don't you understand that? That you were sent too. You weren't just born, you were sent. Don't you get that? Don't you realize that the divine has a plan for your life and it cannot happen unless and until you do it or someone else comes through to do it? Don't you understand that there is nothing that will happen in the earth unless it comes through the prophets, through people? Don't you understand that this is the way this whole thing is set up? That the divine has ideas and goals and plans and purpose, but has partnered with humans to make it happen. And when I say human, all I mean is God with a little g. That's all I mean, because ye are gods. You're gods. Yeah. Cats have cats. Dogs have dogs. Gods beget gods. Let me just throw that out there for somebody, because you need to receive that. You need to understand that. You need to stop downing yourself. You went to church not to worship other people. You needed to go to church to understand the Christ in you. That's what you needed to go to church for. All right. 5 more minutes and then I'm going to go. Because I feel somebody being released. I'm telling you, I'm not being funny here, because there's no time, there's no distance, there's no space in the spirit. When I started moving in my God, I understand that. Because I understand people watch this years from now. People watch this years. I feel it. Somebody is listening to me saying, I never thought about it that way. How would you think of yourself if you started saying, I'm of God? You know, that's how last names came about. Last names weren't even prevalent until about maybe 200 years ago, when the Industrial Revolution came and people started leaving their village. People really didn't have last names. You typically went by, you had one name, right? And people knew your family, and that was it. But as the Industrial Revolution came, people started, globalization, leaving their villages. It started becoming, people needed a surname. And so typically people took the surname of their village. They might have taken the surname of a building. That's where the Windsors, the folks over in England, that so-called royal family, because you're royal too. That's why I say so-called, because you're royal too. You're a royal nation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. But what they did was they took a castle called the Windsor Castle. That castle had been around since 1200, and they just renamed their family name under Windsor. That happened about 100 years ago under King George V. It was all. It was a building, and they changed their surname. Right. So people would take the name of their village, they would take the name of their town, the name of the building, the name of something they liked, and they would just go with it. You've probably seen the movie The Godfather, and he just chose, his name was what, Vito, and he just said Corleone because that's the city he came from. So they said Vito Corleone, but that wasn't like his last name, as it were. So this is the point I'm trying to make. In Germany, right, they would typically take the last name as their occupation. So when you meet someone named Schumacher, that means shoemaker, right? So that means somewhere in their lineage, they were shoemakers. So they took the name of their occupation, right? A lot of people that are from the Germanic countries, when you study their last names, you realize it's tied to an occupation. So I'm giving you the different ways that people took last names. Imagine if your last name was just of God. If you looked at it that way, I'm Daryl of God. How would you change your walk and your talk if it was that? Because I'm not Daryl Bennett. I mean, that's my name, right? That's my name. That's a name, but that's not who I am. That's like saying, who are you? I'm the arm, I'm body. No, I have a body, I have a name, but I am of God. Don't you get that? I want you to receive it the way I understand it. Because when you get that, you start moving differently. So if I'm of God, then how could I not already be great and powerful? How can I not already be rich? You see what I'm saying? I'm not talking about your circumstances yet. I'm talking about in my mind. I'm talking about in who I am. There's no such thing as a broke deity. I'm a deity. Ooh. How would you feel if you believe it? Were y'all watching Charles's coronation, y'all? I know I'm saying a lot. Were y'all watching Charles's coronation? I know everybody talked about the crown on the head. Let me tell you the part I liked. The part I liked that's still stuck in my head is when they put them boards in front of the public view, and they were anointing him, and the choir was singing, "May the King live forever and ever, hallelujah." I said, ooh, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I saw it in church, but I never saw it sung to a person. May the King live forever. What if you believe you were a king? What if you believe that? Can you imagine how much taller? He walked out of there taller than he went in. I mean, I don't mean to be rude here. I mean, I always seen Charles, he's an older, gray, balding guy. After that coronation, like, that's a king. How would you act if you believe you too were a deity? If you believe that God himself had put you and placed you for a time and a season? That's what he believes. And he's got other people believing that. And I'm not saying that that's not the case, but what if you believe that about you? If you started walking around saying, I'm of God. So you started thinking about your gifting differently. Of course, I have to have some unique, powerful, spectacular gifts because I'm of God. How can I be of God and not be great? How can I be of God and not be powerful? How can I be of God and not access all that I need to access? This is why I don't let people talk limited over me. I'm talking to a banker. Say, well, I don't know how you're going to get, well, how would you get the cash? I said, I'm God. I'm God body. I'm an expression of God. I'm a Christ figure. The Christ lives on the inside of me. I can get access to anything I need. Kind of step back on that. I didn't think about that. You should have thought about it. And if you think what I'm talking is weird, what you talking and been listening to is weird. Demeaning yourself and downing yourself and calling yourself a demon and a devil and we ain't got it and we can't afford it. You're of God. Let me go. I love y'all because I'll be on here all day.